y'all, I am back at it doing the I Can Do What I Want challenge, and I found a skateboard. I'm going to try to skateboard. Whenever I was a teen, I used to skateboard all the time. I loved it. And this is my son's skateboard, and his little gloves, and then this helmet thing. Oh lordy. Do I have it on the right way? I guess so. It has a prickly thing in the front. Maybe it's missing something. It's poking me. Ah! Alright. Let's see. Ooh, ah! Ooh, ah! I haven't done this in ages. Try again. All right. Ah! Not much room to get much momentum. Woo! So, I put on this dress. I've never worn it before. Looks great in my tennis shoes, right? And I have been sorting through things, and because we're moving soon, and I found this cloth, this sheet that we painted when the kids were little, and it's pretty cute. There are creatures on here. It looks like, I can't tell, maybe an anteater or a squirrel, and some flowers and sunshine. It's adorable. I've been taking trips down memory lane the past few weeks. It's bittersweet, but I encourage you to try something that you haven't done in a long time that you used to enjoy, like skateboarding in the I Can Do What I Want challenge. And if you have been enjoying these little crazy little things that I'm doing and you would like to subscribe, that would be great. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a minute about something that has been impacting myself and several other people that I know. And I'm sure it's affected everybody to some extent or another at some point in their lives. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Hi y'all, my name is Miyagi. And today I wanted to talk about something that I think all of us have had issues with throughout our lives, dealing with difficult relationships and difficult people. It can be really tricky, especially if it's a relationship that's not chosen, like say your parent, your child, or a relative. Those aren't chosen, you're born into those relationships. That's where it is the most difficult, at least from what I've experienced and what I've seen other people go through. And then next would be the chosen relationships that you have that have been long-term, and then gradually you, I guess you grow and learn and realize that maybe the relationship is not ideal or healthy for you. And for me, what I see is that people get very confused, as well as I have, because a person is a mix of things. They're not always gonna be perfect or be happy and joyful and or mature. Everybody has their own baggage and their issues and their personalities. Everybody's different. And what you do want, though, in a relationship is someone who matches up with you, where you can help each other grow and support one another, where it's interdependent and it's reciprocal and you're on the same page most of the time, and it helps you and nurtures you and grows you, and you work together in synergy and synchrony. Those are the best relationships. But often that's not what we start out with. So what I've seen is after you've been in a relationship with somebody, say your family or long-term romantic relationship, and then things you realize aren't how you thought they were, you grow more, you learn more, and become more conscious and educated, and you realize that maybe this isn't matching up with you anymore. Well, then you have this kind of sadness and confusion because you want the relationship to work. You've been in it for so long and you love the person deeply, but realize that maybe it's not the best for you and actually not the best for them either, because they're not matching up with you, and maybe you're having conflict, and maybe you realize that the person is immature and abusive and their actions aren't lining up with their words. And so what do? It's very hard. If you can, you have to maintain a boundary where you are also being loving of yourself. And that takes a lot of self-knowledge and self-reflection and going inward to really deeply know who you are and what you want, and to be deeply sure of your truth and connected with your feelings and what's true for you, and listen to that inner guidance, that deep thing, the things that you know in your soul that are right for you. Nobody can tell you what's right for you. Only you can know that, and only you can decide who you will have in your life or not, or how much time you spend with people. And sometimes it's painful, but in order to do what's right for you and be loving of yourself, you may have to change the dynamics of the relationship, maybe limit contact, or in the relationship, maybe even go no contact if they're that abusive. And it's very confusing. There are all kinds of conflicting emotions, and it's especially tricky if there are personality disorders involved, where the person can be very manipulative, and they may not be doing it intentionally, but just because they can't help it doesn't mean you have to put up with something that's harmful for you. So what I wish would happen for more people is that they would become empowered and choose what's right for them and what's loving of them, instead of sacrificing themselves in order to not hurt somebody else, or because they feel obligated or they feel guilty. What about you? What about you? Don't you deserve just as much as anybody else? What would you say to someone you love if they were in the same situation you are? I'm sure you would encourage them to do what is healthy and loving for themselves. So it's sometimes some people go their whole lives and they're unhappy and in unhealthy situations and relationships because they don't know how to get out, and they feel like that they feel too guilty, they feel trapped, they don't want to, they're afraid, and they're afraid of what might happen to the person, and their loyalty is to the other person, and then they sacrifice themselves. And to me, I don't see how that's any better than just choosing yourself, choosing to love yourself and to live your best life. Because if you are in a situation where you cannot feel free and supported and nurtured and loved, then how can you spread that out in the world if you're sacrificing yourself? I don't see how that helps anything. But everybody gets to decide what they want to do, and what may be right for me may be wrong for somebody else. So each person has to really deeply question and find out for themselves what's right for them. And I just wish I could help people who are in those situations to choose love and to make the difficult choices so they can then have a more happy, fulfilling life where they are able to serve the world more in their largest capacity and be happy, healthy, loving, productive. I just see that as a win-win. And the people who maybe you end the relationship with, they can find someone else. There are so many people in the world. They can find a relationship where they match up, and it might be even that much better for them, and they'll be happier too. So we can't ever, predict what will happen with the choices we make. So we need to choose what is best for ourselves. Not to say that we want to be hateful and selfish and in a harmful way. That doesn't help either, but we need to choose to treat ourselves the way that we treat our loved ones. And so I hope that this helps somebody who may be in a situation where they're torn and don't know what to do, as far as maybe distancing themselves or ending a relationship. Maybe that will help you question and do some more research and do some more inner reflection and choose yourself. So I rambled on enough. Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions about this, I have a website, The Logical Heart Knows Best, and you can subscribe there and maybe join my Facebook group, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I would be thrilled to help if I can. I'm still figuring all this stuff out too, and it can be very difficult, so I want to help if I can. Thank you.